My content is for 13 and up or adult collectors of the product. Hello everyone and welcome to the Week in Review, where we recap the previous week and anything extra. So big week. Hasbro's Beyblade X technically launched. I say technically because distribution is awful. And it takes time for some stores to actually get stuff, whatever. But we have a lot to talk about in terms of news and everything for this week. You're going to have to forgive me because I actually have to... We're going to move here. But yes. So technically speaking... June 1st was technically the influencer date, so that everyone was told whatever, and I that's what I'm assuming it was. Plus, it was technically true for here in Canada, but doesn't mean every single location is going to have the exact same launch time, whatever. It just means I had to say generally on it, because if I said, oh, it's June 1st, and then after it's like, well, listen here, buddy. We tried to see, and it was not June 1st, so what's that all about? So then after, it's like, yeah, well, fair enough, but... yeah, you're going to probably see it. If not now, probably like through this week, whatever, of the stuff coming. Yep, Hasbro is released in the US. You just have to look in the right stores. So, I'm in the void. Okay. Here we go. Mallbays.com. We still have a bunch of Weiss Tigers there in the store, so if you want to check it out, it's an optional way to support the channel. It does keep the channel alive. We also have the Amazon link of the store. I think it's in the description, so if you're interested in Hasbro Beyblade X and you want to use specifically my link, which says... I do get a little bit of it if you use that actual link. I would appreciate it either way. So you either have the Japanese products or technically the Hasbro, so... it's GG's, which actually I should probably mention that in all the future reviews too, because it does actually help a little bit. But yes, okay. So we're going to be getting ready. We have a lot to talk about, but in general, I had a lot of questions, I think, on socials just about the launch and everything. And keep in mind, right, I don't live in all these specific areas. So if someone asks, what about Europe? What about Germany? Like that things I'm not going to be able to answer because I just don't know. But we'll do a recap of this week anyways. This week was really, really big. We got a lot of the Hasbro Beyblade X content out, which I did think what was really funny in general was just... let me see. Okay, this is okay. If I move my chair, I'm okay. A lot of reviews we did this week, but what I found funny was I didn't have to wait for June 1st to launch all the content. Oh, no. Oh yeah, we had the app video also there too. I thought for some reason I had the gameplay of the X1 playing by accident. I don't know why I paused, but yeah. Literally it's just been reviews this week, and I still have to get rid of all the other reviews that are still left over. Some, obviously, we did a lot of battles and whatever. Friday was the episode review, and what else was there? Oh, we also had the... Anime North coverage and some other stuff, because the rest of it was literally just reviews. Okay, I gotta make sure my Mac is muted on here. I think I left that on for a second, so we don't hear an echo by accident. Yes, there we go, the Anime North footage, finally, that's all playing. Okay, so, this is okay. If I move myself and I adjust, this looks right. Excellent. Yeah, Target released Hasbro X in June 11th. Well, June 1st is the general dates. It depends on retailers, eh? It depends on retailers. I know here in Canada, EB Games is probably the best. Toys R Us is the worst retailer if you're trying to get in Canada. Or you could use technically the Amazon affiliate link. But no, also, what else? Toys R Us was the worst for Canada because they upcharged too much on the pricing. What else? Walmart, I think, was okay, I'm pretty sure. I think that was just the base price. And EB Games was also just the base price. But... this only applies to Canada. In the US, I would assume, if you don't do online, probably like your Targets, your GameStops, I guess. As for the rest of the world, I don't know. I'm not too sure on that one. It drops on the 15th in the UK. Okay, so I mean, there you go. If you're on the East Coast USA, GameStop has them and stuff. Yep. So, in terms of that, yeah, no, not really much else to say. I am also kind of happy I didn't have to get forced to like kind of do the thing, because I don't know if I had to follow some script or whatever. So kind of being free from Hasbro, funny enough, did actually benefit in the end, because I got literally, look at this. I have pretty much almost all the reviews done, thank God, because I did not want to have to deal with that at the start of June, because I would not be able to actually keep up with it. But we literally have every single review up on the starters, the Sword Phoenix, the singles. We're just missing like bare minimum few. So if you want to see Hasbro Beyblade X coverage as in-depth and as objective as possible, or at least, as fair as possible to the products, that's probably those types of videos that I have launched now. In terms of what's missing, the Bucket Stadium, Dronzer S, the Viper 2-pack, Horn Rhino, and also in general for Takara Tomy, I am missing the Black Hills chain, which that's probably is going to go on the other channel for that one. But yeah, that's only some of the missing stuff I need to do, which eventually I'll get around to it. I don't like doing double uploads per the week, but depending on my schedule, maybe double uploads this week, maybe. At least for like the ones that no one cares about Horn Rhino. But I'll probably see. Probably in the next few days, you will probably see double on the days. I'll probably see one in the morning and one maybe super late at night. And then after just regular 5 p.m. Eastern is usually when I do, or 5 p.m., 6 p.m. Eastern. Okay, so moving on from there, let's talk about it. Hey, last weekend was Anime North, baby. Now, I'm probably going to decide if I want to edit the tournaments on there or not. I don't know. But Anime North was last weekend. The cosplay on the Friday was from Joe Julian, Yoshikage Kira, and then after the Saturday was Kamen X. I could not breathe in that mask. It looks cool, but I could not breathe it at all. But super, super fun. I have some videos on it, like the main channel, the Saturday video, it was all the Kamen X stuff, which, I don't know. Because, I mean, the tournament footage, it was literally just mostly Wizard Rod. Am I going to really edit like a 30-minute video on Wizard Rod gameplay? I don't know. Maybe just the finals or something. Even the tag team. Yeah, I mean, the tag team, maybe I'll do a compilation. I don't know. I'm still deciding on that. The app just updated. We'll talk about the app probably afterwards. Actually, I don't even think I have a graphic on the app, so someone can remind me later on in the stream to maybe talk about the app, whatever, but yikes on the app. Yikes. Also, in terms of the testing channel, which the testing channel is now I think the testing channel, even though I missed it, but I think now it's 3 years old from my first upload. So yeah, that's nice. That's nice. Testing channel is very old. We have the Shinobi testings, Mammoth. We had a news video on there, which probably for the future. Anytime there's small news that's irrelevant, it doesn't make any sense to put it on. Just dump it on there. And plus, it's easier if I want to just talk about one thing and I don't really want to do it. I don't know. It'll be case by case. But I have to get all the other testings done, which, mind you, okay, you are going on timeout for the rest. Hold on. Mind you, I think I have to get, I don't know how many bases are left over, but I will be doing it with a Takara Tomy Stadium. And eventually on the Hasbro stuff, we'll get to it. But actually on the topic, because Hasbro is very, very different from Takara Tomy, obviously I think it makes the most sense to do as objective as possible for the testings, that you do it on the original Takara Tomy Stadium. Because afterwards, my plan was this, to do a tier list and a purchase guide, but also factor in the Hasbro Stadium, because if the Hasbro Stadium is really different, even though most of the things I say in the reviews are pretty much like 95% correct, maybe there'll be like the 5%, like maybe Gear Flat is slightly better in this stadium than in the TT one. So like small stuff like that I really want to focus on. As well, I'll throw this question, you can leave a comment later on, but I was thinking when I do future Hasbro battles, I want to maybe incorporate both stadiums in the battles, but what percentage of the video do you want to see the shitty green? The stadium is shit, by the way, we'll get to that on that video. But the green stadium and like the regular, I was thinking like 25, 75. So if like there's a battle of, let's say, 10 minutes, I don't know, maybe like 2-3 minutes on the green one, and like the rest of like that 7 minutes is the black stadium. Let me know if you think that's okay for the battles, because I think it'd be nice to incorporate both of them. And I definitely want to consider, if you think the stadium is shit, you don't even want to see it in the videos, you let me know too. I don't like that stadium. I went very, very in-depth on that stadium on why I do not like it. I think that stadium is obviously the budget stadium, but I explain in-depth on why the stadium is bad. I have to say this too, because listen, this stadium, if the thing is molded on the stadium, you also realize that the rails also wear a lot easier. That's the one thing, because I remember saying in the review, oh, and maybe the rails will be okay for wear. And then I thought, no, it wouldn't, because it's molded on there. Yeah, so I have to record a new segment mentioning that, because that video, I went through like whiplash the whole time, because the reason why the stadium's bad, by the way, and obviously you can say budget, whatever. Listen, you can have a budget stadium, but how you design that stadium still matters, right? The inner contents. The budget constraint can be like, okay, it has to be this type of size, but how they fill it, whatever, that's up to them. The gear size is way too large, so it messes with all the stuff trying to interact with it, except for, I think, gear flat. And it's really attack biased. Like, too much. Like, if you thought the DB Stadium was bad for stamina types, this is the stadium that's the issue, is too much to attack types. What else was the issue? Oh, yeah, you can't run defense or stamina properly. It's not functional in terms of competitive. Like, even casually speaking, you can just say it's serviceable, but I don't know. I feel the issue with time talking about the stadium, and I had the issues with this in the review, it's like, the truth is this. The stadium is fine for a budget, but also there's the other facts that, like, fundamentally as a design, it's very poor. So I feel like some are going to have trouble accepting, like, the second part, because even if I say I said the first part so many times in that video, but I already know that video is probably going to get a lot of controversy on it, probably. Actually, I don't know. Because I mentioned so many times, but like these weird people get super triggered on like the Hasbro stuff, if like any criticisms thrown on it. So I don't know. And there are times when you can be fair. Like the Extreme Stadium on the set one, I think it's like, if the TT one was like a 10, the Hasbro the Black Stadium is like a 7. Like, it's good enough. It's good enough. But that's besides the point. I don't want to. Come on, let's change topics. Hey, this was pretty cool. This is like the first time in such a long time I've ever seen this, where these media, there's the localization of the Beyblade X manga. What is this? This is for spring 2025. I thought that was super cool that we actually got that announcement. Well, I can't remember the last time we got proper localization. I know in past we technically had like the English, but that was from like Singapore, so that's super sick, dude, and I think it's awesome to see the manga is going to get proper localization. That's one of the big things I was like, damn, they really should do it this generation, otherwise I feel the disservice. Let's go over anything else. Let's go over the TT section, and then after we'll hit up the Hasbro stuff. Yeah. So we'll talk about Weiss Tiger, because there's some other stuff of the remakes. We kind of got the prototypes, which are like super prototypes, by the way, that we got to see. The green stadium is just a standard stadium with ripcords glued on the side. Well, maybe accurate, but let's talk about Weiss Tiger. Look at this. Very cool. This is the one thing I'm pretty excited for, mostly on the bit, because the shape of the blade, it's kind of hard to tell, to be honest. Mid-June. Visually, I think this bay looks really nice, and I assume because there's the black shell, or whatever they call it, they're going to put it as the German name. I'm pretty sure for Pendragon, it's probably going to be Shigeru Nanahiro, who's going to have Weiss Tiger. Chrome is going to be using the left Drake. And the third member will probably be using Black Shell. It would make the most amount of sense, especially since the Hasbro listing had Tiger and Black Shell on there. And also, I would also think this. Because obviously the left release is going to be similar to that of Phoenix Wing, it should be coming with a string launcher, at least as far as I can tell. I would also assume that most likely, and I hope Hasbro does this, if they do no, they have to. If they do the release of that left, the launcher is bundled. Yeah, they'll probably do something like Soar Phoenix, because that'd be a very good opportunity. I don't want it to be like Drake left and then you have to buy a launcher separate. No, I don't think they would do that. But just to throw it out there, just in case. I don't know. Either way, the only negative part of this release that I think is pretty fair, I think the 360 is so whack that they gave it that. Because, like, why not just 370? Why? Like, they're not going to do 50 and they're not going to do 90. So I just thought, like, you could have done 970. Another 370 would have been okay. 360 is like, okay. I'm assuming the next two releases, which we'll get to later on, is probably going to have a variant of the two sides. Which it's very much like, almost 90% sure that's the case. The Unite bit I actually think is going to be really good. It just seems like Taper with even more stamina. So, good. I'm okay with this also not being literally just rubber. I think it's fine. Weiss Tiger reminds me of Drigger Gatling. Does it? Yeah, because Drigger was 3. I'm fine with... Well, the 360 I don't like because I think there should be new content. I know why they did 360. The reason why is probably because July has the new ratchets and they're kind of just... I don't know. I see. Maybe they're just like budgeting whatever. Like, okay, screw it, 360. What stores are selling Beyblade X for Hasbro? Well, there's the Amazon affiliate link that's probably in the description. No, but Walmart, Toys R Us, GameStop in Canada. But I don't live where you live, so it's just checking your retailers, probably. Will Unite be that effective? That point barely 6, I doubt it'll be much different. Well, if you actually see in the video, or actually as we're talking in the live thing, the movement pattern, I mean, obviously it's going to be similar to, like, point is similar to flat, it's obviously, but you have it, for an example, like in the first section that it shows, where it's going around the inner ridge for defense, it goes aggressive for the attack portion, and for the stamina, it kind of holds in the center. Like, if you think about Taper, of how Taper usually does, it's just like a lot of stamina on flat, and you're probably going to get it where it's just better endgame stamina for Taper, and I think that's where the positive is going to be for this release, because Taper already is a pretty solid bit, but if you have it where it's like this, I think, like, obviously you're not going to probably see some big disparity, but, you know, like, point is obviously way better than flat, and I assume it'd probably be the same case with Unite and Taper. We have to test to find out, obviously, but I thought just to mention that. There's this other part of this blade, which I think is so pointless to mention, but they comically label each part of the specific blade of, like, dampening the stamina, defending, and attacking. I think it's the silliest and the dumbest thing I've ever heard, but they have to somehow advertise this as a balance type, because it has upper attack, because there's a little bit of curves, it can dampen the attack, it has stamina, whatever. It's like... It's all the gimmicks in one, all the quote-unquote gimmicks in one, whereas this is technically a Beyblade X gimmick. I mean, shape-wise, because the side profile, I mean, we've seen in the Korokoro, and I have done this on the original video, it seems like a little bit more of an aggressive drawn dagger for its shape. Not obviously for all, like, the blade shape, but for most of it. I suspected they should hit fine. Like, even in the video, obviously these videos are rigged, so it's impossible to give a proper opinion, but it does seem to at least hit decent. I don't know. Like, is it possible to rig it that much just for, like, bursts and whatever, and for those? Maybe. Maybe. A KO with a Wizard Rod, which is not really that big of a feat, but I don't know. I'll stand by this. I think the blade should... It should be good. I don't think crazy. I think it should just be okay. Like, I'm thinking bare minimum should be at the B tier, because it doesn't look like much is negative for it, or at least a bit. Damn it, something out of this has to work, so... They also showed off the Black Hell's chain, which I will be probably having a video this week, either this channel or the other channel, and this is the coolest one. It's the blue drawn sword with the metal coat of blue, which this looks really, really nice. Listen. It looks really cool. To obtain this, you have to get the next Korokoro issue, or... if they let me buy in a batch, molabays.com. I'll probably try to stock up on this like crazy. Also, it looks nice. I mean, the paint's gonna obviously die. I like it. I want them to do other... I want to do a drawn dagger in the Drake colors and a buster. It's so easy filler for them to do. Weiss Tiger looks really cool, but man, I really wish they released Drawns and Drigger the latter. Yep. Yeah, that's one of the things, too, when you do remakes, or whatever, crossover. The issue you have is that there might be a part that's a lot more accurate than whatever they released currently, which it's like, yeah, it's kind of meh. Oh, also, they showed off Battle Zero, which, hey, I wanted to mention this. Battle Zero did get the announcement for an English release to be done. So that was really cool to see that news this week. Actually, was it even this week? I don't know. I don't know when whenever this was, because I didn't talk about it in the previous week in review, so it was recent, I guess. But we're getting an English release, which I was like, okay, that's awesome. And probably... Oh, they showed some gameplay elements. If you want my thoughts personally, it looks okay. It's like the typical stuff we've seen from them before, from Furyu who's developed it. But I think the reason why you see Knife Shinobi, think about it like this. I think the game should be around the same time of release. If not, I'll be surprised, because think about it like this. Okay, if there's going to be an English release, why waste time doing Cobalt Drake if it's both of them have to be equivalent? So Hasbro players, they already have Knife Shinobi. Japanese players will technically get a new blade, so that's why they probably picked it. So now it makes more sense in context. I still wish we got a reprint of Drake, because the only way to get Drake is through Rare Bait Get Battle, and I think that's very lame. So I'd really like a reprint. So that's my only thing I'm upset on. So if it's not through here, I hope to God, like, even if there's like some October set, whatever, please, because I think it's going to be over a year probably until we get a Drake reprint, which I think is a little bit ridiculous. But I mean, obviously, either way, I didn't. Actually, I did do mild testing on Shinobi. I mean, it's technically better than Rhino Horn, I guess. It comes with a 460 and a low fly. I still am a little bit angry. There's no rush on this actually. But yeah, I wonder if they'll actually make an in-game blader for this, for that new story, because that would be pretty cool to actually see. I'm not too sure if they would or not. I hope Hasbro made a Hasbro version of Cobalt Drake or Hasbro exclusive. Well, keep in mind this. The reason why there's no Cobalt Drake right now for Hasbro is that if the bays are the exact same, it doesn't make sense business-wise for Takara Tomy to let them have a release of that, because then there's no reason for you to do the Rare Bait Get Battle. They can just import online, and they don't waste all the points, whatever. Even if Hasbro did do a clone of Cobalt Drake, because that's actually the next topic in a moment after this section, it wouldn't be the same weight. Well, could they improve on the shape? Maybe, I don't know actually, but it wouldn't be the same. It wouldn't be the equivalent. But even if you did see it, it'd probably be due like a year, maybe like next spring. I don't know. Now, speaking of which, this release was a pin. I couldn't even get stock for this. I don't even know if I'll be able to get it later on, but this is like this baseball drawn dagger, super limited. If it's the only way to get it is if you're in Japan. Comes with 280 in gear points. So let's talk about the 280. So I think, because in the specific description, they mentioned like the rotation, whatever, like, oh, in right rotation, and you can have defense, whatever, blah, 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 blah. I think that the Drake left that's going to be in July, it's going to be 260, and Black Shell is going to be 280. And it makes the most sense, because usually every time, it's 60-80, 60-80, 60-80, how they do it. So for an example, like 360, 460, 380, 480, 960, 980, all right, they follow the pattern. So its shape looked really weird. Like I saw some side, I really want to see it in the video. It looks very small and compact, so I'm very curious. It reminds me kind of 960 almost, kind of, for just the general kind of compactness and the roundness, but we got to get footage. The chances of TT releasing Hasbro exclusives beyond Knife Shinobi feels very unlikely. Not necessarily, because if they're already doing this with the game, they could have filler in like a random booster where it just takes up a slot, which I would hate that, but keep in mind, these names are already trademarked for the Japanese ones, which could just be insurance, but also, who knows. Now, speaking of which, hey, we get some big oh, actually, no, we're not even there yet. Holy shit, the remakes. Almost forgot. They did the reveal for the prototypes for the remakes, which some are a little bit more concerning than others. I mean, actually, this might be the angle, but even then, I don't think so. But the Victory Valkyrie remake looks a lot smaller than the actual Victory Valkyrie, but they're right next to each other, so I don't think that's the angle of it. I think it's genuinely smaller. Yeah, look at it. That looks... It'd be perspective if it was at an angle, but this is kind of almost a front view. Yeah, it's a front view. Yeah. I mean, even if you tilted it, I don't think it would... No, it definitely does look modified quite a bit, actually. Like, if you look at... I don't know. I think there's going to be... I'm not confident in the Burst remakes for the weight, because, like, Plastic Gen was already, like, how much was it? 27, 28. What are we going to get on the Valkyrie? 24? 24 grams? Now, the Storm Pegasus one, at least, is a little bit more confident building. So look at this. That at least looks bigger than the Pegasus. Like, Pegasus, you either think they're the exact same or at least slightly bigger. There's no parts on them yet, which is a little bit interesting because the Drigger S prototype and, what was it, Tripio also had the parts on it. So the fact that they don't have the parts could just be they don't know yet, but maybe they all get, maybe these remakes do get new content. I would suspect this should be the September, the random select, that BXG one, potentially. It makes the most sense. Like, these are like super beta right now. I don't think it would make any sense. Like, they have, what, they have the betas of this, but it's going to be some other beta in September? No, it would have to be these. They have to be working on all of these. And it would make sense anyways, because if there is the left of Drake, that means Dragoon, Pegasus, whatever, you do those release 3 together, random select, and then after, it's in September. It makes the most sense for Dragoon to be the next Bakuten remake. Otherwise, I'll be surprised, but there's no... Please, I don't want the Metal Fight remakes to be clapped in weight. Please, 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 bro. I don't want to suffer like I did with Plastic Gen remakes, because I actually got into Plastic Generation. I liked Bakuten Shoot. Seeing the remakes get so clapped, like, bruh, awful. Okay, speaking of... I don't got a good segue for this. Speaking of blue bays... Haha. Shout out to Creative from the WBO for these amazing renders. They are very, very talented, but let's talk about this. These are for all of these upcoming Hasbro exclusives. I'm just going to call them that, because even if TT uses them later on, these were technically intended as Hasbro exclusives, but I did also think about something. Okay. If you think about Phoenix Feather... What was Phoenix Feather? Phoenix Feather was a clone of Drawn Sword modified, and there was already a main Phoenix motif. All of these bays, there is a main motif, and there is, like, the side of them. Now, what I'm thinking, potentially, I think Phoenix Feather and was maybe a collaboration with Hasbro and Takaratomi on this idea of reusing a pre-existing mold, and then after kind of having, let's say, filler blades. And it makes a lot of sense if you think about it, because that's how it started off, and that's why all of them are the exact same for how they're designed and everything. But I wanted to mention that anyways, because I did sit on this thought for a while, and I think it would make a lot of sense. But Tyrannoroar, cool. The neck of that bit chip looks bad, but this blade is a clone of Phoenix Wing, and it's if you could not tell, it has the exact same stock. Now, Kaiju did do some estimates. All of the weights just seem about the average for, like, a regular blade. It should be, like, 34, and some of the other ones are, like, 34, and then the rest are really low, but... Oh, but the colors aren't final, by the way. Obviously, these are just, like... These are just renders. We don't know what the colors look like on them, but other stuff from the app, there's supposed to be the gold Viper tail, there's supposed to be the purple Knight shield... What else? Oh, there's the Unicorn Sting. That's supposed to be a yellow recolor. Which, I guess all of that should be like the Wave 2 thing, but... It's interesting, but my view is always going to be like this. It's either you have to have some way to be an improvement over the original. If you're not, then it is kind of lame. Like, at least Phoenix Feather can technically hit better than a worn drawn sword. So there's the benefit in that, and specifically on points, but... Yeah, the more you think about it, yeah, these kind of carbon copies, like, you get better perspective on them, but these are a weird filler. So long as we get all these as normal motifs, I actually don't care at all. Like, I would love to see a regular crocodile, what is there, a regular Kong Bay, you know, like, all of them as normal releases, which I feel might be the case, Are these baits official? No, obviously not. No, I just mentioned the app, so no. These are, I made this up. Come on. Did you see the crazy upper attack that Valkyrie had? What do you mean? Like the side profile of Valkyrie? Yeah, it looks very similar to that of Drawn Sword, if you mean the remake. Yeah, but I mean, this just looks like... If the weight's not the same as Phoenix Wing, this won't be good, because Phoenix Wing, the big thing that's carrying it was its weight. Not just... I mean, the shape was okay, but... I don't know. I'm not too crazy on it. Gear Flat, which I guess whatever the final colors are, that'll be sick to see. This one is a little bit depressing. It's uneven. It's the Bear 360 Spike. isn't it like Bear Scratch or something? No, I think that's the name that's in the Japanese one. I don't even have whatever the actual names are. Someone can put, because I'm getting too confused on the Japanese name that they have for it and localized whatever. But yeah, look at this. Again, oh, it doesn't go back. Why? There you go. It's a rhino horn clone? Seriously? Why? Why rhino? At least clone, I don't know. I can't even say scythe because we already have so many clones of it. Dude, I don't know, do another drawn. Why another rhino clone? Because when you reuse because all of them basically reuse like this base mold, they slightly modifying the detailing and the plastic, and then it's like, if you're picking already a shitty base, like you're not really going to be able to do much with it. I'm so sad with this one. This one, Savage Bear. Well, that's better than, I guess, Bear Scratch. That is better than Bear Scratch. Yeah, but I don't know. Why do you keep asking this, buddy? Hasbro and TT are the exact same. They're the exact same bays. They're the same. There's no preference. They're the same. If you mean stadium-wise, I don't even know. I'd have to really sit on that. Probably no. Probably still the TT Stadium, competitively at least. Casually fun-wise, I don't know. Go to town, whatever. But yeah, sorry, Savage Bear. Well, that's a better name actually. Is this Yell Kong, right? Yell Kong. This is a Wyvern clone. What is it, 360 gear bowl? The detailing on this looks really, really cool. I actually like this in terms of just visually speaking. I mean, being a Wyvern clone, it'll probably have some weird attack properties. Maybe, I don't know, maybe some, maybe some stamina. I don't know. I don't know. I'm gonna be honest. It looks like they're covering up actually the holes that Wyvern. It's kind of funny because every time you put the silhouette aligned on it of the original bay, it's like you can just tell what they kind of took out of it. I don't know. I was talking about the Valkyrie remake in the side profile. The way they connect with the blade and the boost states ended up giving it the shark level up. Well, I mean, I need to see footage. Like, I know what you mean on the side profile, but I mean, weight's also gonna matter, right? Like, technically, Drigger S has upper, and so does Drone there because a little bit of that slope and whatever. But I don't know. We'll find out we're in June, August. Wow, 3-4 months. I don't know. Whenever they decide to release it. Yeah, some of the combos on these reskins are really lazy. Well, yeah. Do we know how long until Hasbro Wave 2 is going to come out? No, unfortunately. We never really get that info on dates. Like, even the dates on Wave 1 was technically because it got leaked because of packages coming to influencers, I'm pretty sure. I don't think, am I wrong? I don't think we got an official June 1st date. If we did, if there's an official news article or something, then please correct me right now live, because otherwise I did not see anything. But I mean, the Kong one looks pretty cool. I mean, motif design-wise, I think all of them except the Tyranno look really nice. The Bite Croc, it's literally the stock combo of Shark. And the thing is, it's like whatever, but they kind of nerfed the top parts of the Shark Bay, which I don't really like too much like they did. But I also like a Crocodile, so I don't know. What's really funny, too, actually, is, technically speaking, you could run Shark Edge, or sorry, Keel Shark, Optimus Primal, whatever, and Bite Croc, all in the same deck. You could do like low flats, flats, and point. So if they're all similar performance for the attack stuff, that will be a little bit funny to actually see. Wave 2 is probably going to be September or August. Yes, probably. Probably because you got to remember, they got to launch the anime, so this, and I don't know. It's probably going to be a pause, I would think, because it wouldn't make any sense, because the anime has to catch up, right? So I don't even know. I don't even think we have an announcement even for the anime. I think it's probably, they're probably going to, the anime might be August or something, that they maybe do the dub or something. Wyvern is used for attack. Yes, my friend. If you've seen the Wyvern Gale testings on the timestamps, Wyvern Gale and low flats, pretty good. Pretty good. I think Wyvern has pretty good stamina. I think the gap is really annoying, but stamina I think is pretty nice. And on attack, I like it quite a bit. But I'm based this off the testings that I do. But yeah, I mean, I think the Tyranno one looks neat. In terms of just personal, not in terms of competitive thoughts, I like the Kong one a lot. And actually the Croc one. In terms of just competitively, I mean, probably Croc, Tyranno, Kong, and then probably that one's the worst one, realistically. But yeah, man. Yeah, let's go over some other stuff actually now. So this will be the section where you get to just talk about whatever. So any kind of thoughts, whatever you want to kind of give, I'll kind of go over my plans for this week. But yeah. When is the next TT news drop for Left Spin Drake or something? It's always at the middle of the month, so you're looking at next week Friday. Oh, that's gonna be. Oh God, oh God. How is that day gonna work? Because the episode's gonna come out, the news comes out. Oh God. Okay, my Friday is not gonna be fun next week. Do you think Let's Spinning Bay is gonna have? No. Do you think if we have a world championship, it'll be open for adults? Well, I don't know. I would hope so, but if not, I mean, in the tournaments in Asia, it's open to like all age. I mean, obviously there's probably age divisions, but I would think it'd probably be open to everyone. But I don't know. That's up for Hasbro and Takara Tomy to decide. Which probably, if we did see any news on that, that would probably be. I would want to, if let's say Wave 2 is like the unicorn stuff, and I probably by the time Drum Buster comes out, I think probably spring next year is when the World Championship is probably going to be. Most likely. Let's Spin Bay news is June 14th. Yes. And I'm very excited for that. Will you be getting the orange and black drawn dagger and review it? Well, I'll try my best, but it's super hard to get. Hopefully. I couldn't even get it to sell it. They sold out too quickly. Will there be another deck set? Yes, in August. Or if you're talking about Takara Tomy, yes, there will be. Your upcoming releases in June, it's Weiss Tiger. July, it's the starter, the random booster. August, it's a regular booster and a deck set. And the booster and the deck set in August are both UX. And then in September, it's just going to be random selects. Okay. Any infos on Black Shell? Other than it'll probably have 280, nothing. And probably be a reference to Drasil, nothing. I guess we can maybe expect some kind of changes in the ruling. Oh, where did it go? Once exclusive crossover bays released to avoid duplicates. I don't think they will do rules, probably, for that stuff. Because, like, they didn't do one for Phoenix Feather, right? They counted as a different blade. So I think they'd probably allow it all. Have you realized that the Beyblade X Nintendo Switch game will come out after Season 1? Or once the anime is done, are they already... Well, I mean, probably by the time it comes out, it's in... When is it? November? Right? November, right? You're already going to be in Season 2. But what I hope they do is they do DLC updates for future content. Pendragon is actually a bunch of cheaters. When they reached the top, both Chrome and Exu ran flat, and she grew... Ooh! They're repeating parts. Actually, that's a funny thing. That's a funny joke, but also it would be funny if they actually did kind of apply that to the anime for the rules. But, I mean, Kazami Bird gets cheated out of a KO against the Berry Wyvern, so I don't know. What is your opinion on the dub voice? I haven't. The dub's not even out yet. I've seen maybe 1 or 2 clips. I'd love to see the whole thing. What I heard so far, I think I really like it. But I'd love to see more of it. Hear me out. For rubber bits, they said they won't have gears on the bit, but not to destroy the rubber fest. Well, I mean, they can have rubber, but just on the bottom. September is going to be the remakes month, most likely. It'll be very weird in the World Championship's not home for everyone, because Beyblade X... Well, I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine on that type of stuff. I'm not too sure. Weiss Tiger? Why you gotta write it as the Hasbro name? Why like this? Yes, June 15th. Wait. Correct. Okay, let's see if there's anything else. Did you see the combos for the collabs earlier today? Oh, actually, yes. Yeah, we can talk about it, actually, sure. I didn't make a graphic for it. Shit. Well, we'll talk about it, I guess. Actually, I'll zoom in on myself. Nope. Which one's the zoom in? We're gonna find out which one's the zoom in. No, that's just the screen. Which one is the... Okay, we're stuck here. It's close enough. Alright, whatever. There was actually the collaboration combinations for the Marvel and the Transformers stuff. That was in the app data. I was talking to Cypress about this. I mean, we can go over it, I guess. So if you want, yeah. They sound okay. Actually, I'll get my phone for this. I don't know if... Actually, I might be able to make a graphic, but... yeah, for the Marvel news and all that stuff, if you're wondering on the Transformers and that type of stuff, we did actually get some collaboration info. So let me see if I can pull it up right now. So this is, I don't know when these 2-packs are going to release. Someday. Only God knows, but... Okay, for some reason, I can't make the graphics, so I'll just read it off my phone. Probably. But here are the combos for the stuff that are, I guess, what are going to be for the final ones. We have Darth Vader, which is supposed to have 460 point. Luke Skywalker, which has 480 ball. I'm wondering if 460 is the cheap. I wonder if 4 sides is the cheapest to produce because of the fact that it's 4 sides. It's spamming it. Venom has 380 needle, so it's a defense type release. So I'm assuming Venom is a Knight Shield clone. Vader, I don't know. I think Vader is probably going to be, again, actually a Shield clone. Luke, I think, will probably be a Wizard clone, and they'll probably do something like the lightsabers on it. Iron Man is 480 ball. That one I have no idea. If that's another Wizard, I'll be surprised. Thanos is also 460. Wow, they're really reusing the combos on this. In Spider-Man, sounds like it's going to be a drawn sword clone, or sword drawn, 360 flat. So those are the combos. Now, based is we get more point recolors, so that's kind of cool. I really want to see... oh, we know one got Mandalorian and Gideon Moff, actually. Okay. Well, we'll go over some other stuff. Will the company release the other Hasbro exclusives? Probably. Probably is the answer. Let's go over some other... Yeah, but that was kind of interesting. But yeah, for this week, we'll go over some of the other stuff. But yeah, I'm a little bit upset, though, that 4 sides... If 480, it's like, why not 5 sides? So, I don't know. It's like the budget for Hasbro. It's like the bullshit we got to deal with. So the Cloud Blades are all going to share the combos between them to Sam Noy Brothers, to put it lightly. I mean, I'd also like them to maybe put like a Rush or like a High Taper or something. Them reprinting Point, I'm okay with. I think that's cool. I don't think 480 ball, I don't know. And if it's just reuse interesting molds, I don't know. I wouldn't be honest, the Hasbro exclusives, I'm kind of killed on any hype with them because they're all basically reusing molds. None of them have original shapes. So it's like, okay. Even on the collaborations one, I do have one criticism. I would have liked it instead of just using like official artwork if they actually made custom artwork on the Beyblade X style for like the gear chips. But that's a minor thing, but yeah. Are they really Hasbro? Well, no. Think about it like this. Hasbro gets the Japanese designers to make them these exclusives, and then the Takara can decide afterwards if they want to release them. So they are intended as Hasbro exclusive. TT releases them later, so technically no, but they're intended for that. So yes. Yes and no. Yes and no. Yes and no. Okay, but to go over for this week, tomorrow's video, the Green Stadium, maybe double... Actually, probably for the next few days, maybe double upload. I'm trying my best. Thursday, I'm going to be doing a super in-depth video on Takara and Hasbro, the stadiums, what's good, what's bad, what's the meta like. Eventually, I'll do a purchase guide. Let's see what else. Coming Saturday, we're back with the Combo Challenge video. Amazing artwork actually done, and you'll get to see that art next week. It's going to look... Actually, next week. No, that's not true. Next week would be Sunday, so next 6 days from now. But yeah, I have a lot of good content planned. It's going to get a little bit weird near the end of June. Also some positive stuff. The casting, the deadline was done. I have to do the casting for the comic dub stuff, whatever. So that'll be fun. That'll probably be an announcement video, probably on the other channel. But yeah. And keep in mind, listen, for this Hasbro stuff, whatever, I try to be as fair as possible with this coverage. Don't think, oh because this, that, and this, because he doesn't get the stuff from Hasbro, he's just hating it. No, I'm very fair for this stuff. I would say, again, I'm probably, other than maybe like Nizuma, that at least I've watched, is probably like the most objective for like the Hasbro coverage. Which, shout out Nizuma, by the way, did amazing coverage this week on Hasbro stuff. I recommend you check it out. Okay, last thing I want to ask, just as we wrap up, before anything else. Is there any stadium advantage to 80 ratchets? Okay, so I'll answer this, and after I'll re-ask. Actually, I'll re-ask this, and then after I'll answer that question. Make sure to tell me in the comments what percentage of the video do you want to see the shitty stadium and the extreme set stadium. Do you want to see 25, 75, or not at all? That's your options. Or how much of the video do you want to see realistically? Because this will only be for Hasbro battles. This won't be for Takara Tomy battles. Takara Tomy, it's only in the original standard stadium. But yeah, let me know for that type of stuff. But yeah, to answer this, the advantage of having a taller height, generally, whether, let's say, okay, if I have a bay at 60, let's say I have a bay at 70. So your potential is that you can slam on them down and destabilize them. That's more of 70 height. 80 height, it's more you have the, actually 80 height, it's kind of similar. You're just on top, so there's a little bit more stamina and stability, kind of. But, you know, it kind of depends. And for defense, you do generally want it to be a little bit taller, because that way when the bee is trying to hit you, they have a difficulty of getting a solid shot in. Like Wizard Rod, for an example, the Hexa defense combination, that is defense, and it's good because if you do it on a shorter height, it's kind of meh. On a taller height, because it's tilted, it's a little bit harder to get those solid blows on it. But yeah, 50-50. Well, I think we're going to do 75. Okay, so we got 50-50, we got 75. So, yeah, I mean, you can leave a comment on this. I just wanted to, because obviously, not everyone can afford a stadium, whatever, a stadium or a stadium set, and I just thought it'd be kind of like a nice thing to just to do it. I mean, I did it before in the Hasbro covers that I can recall, but all these Hasbro videos we have out right now, eventually testings, I'm really burnt on like life and everything, so please, oh, this is a PSA, please, this is not everyone in the chat or anything, but I'm just saying in general, don't ask when a testing's going to come out, or like whatever, or even, like for an example, when is this review going to come out? The answer is always whenever I get it. When is the testing going to be out? Whenever I get around to it, right? I just, it's a little pet peeve that I have, because it's almost a little bit demanding, kind of like asking, and it's like, all right, take it easy, man, I'm not a robot. But other stuff, I'm going to try to do my best. And yeah, a huge thank you to the support, everyone, for this week. I think we had a pretty good live show, pretty good topics. Next week is probably going to be a little bit dry. Actually, will next week be dry? What week are we on? Next week will be dry. The week after won't be. So, yeah. So, if there's anything else, nothing else for now. So yeah, we'll end it off for this week. If there's anything else, you can just leave it in the comments. If I didn't answer, I'll get around to it. Thank you for all the support, everyone, this week. Me and Yuzuma should be doing a Zencast this Wednesday. Well, we're recording this Wednesday. Actually, yeah, probably that might be the Saturday video, or maybe that might be, I don't know, we'll figure it out. But thank you all for watching. Have an amazing day. Take care. I got a lot of work to do this week, so yeah, very busy. Alrighty, bye.